back. It's Thirsty Thursday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco. We're coming to you from the Question Tequila Studios. We are downtown on Broadway, just down the street at the New York Stock Exchange. Markets continue to rise in a wonderful direction, up 230 points, well above that new consolidation and support level of 27,000. We're at 27.7. All-time highs for the markets, with good news just trickling out of the China trade talks. Any real solid news is going to rocket this thing. And Bitcoin middling around down just a bit, just a smidge, a skosh. But I think anything above 9,000 for a little while is a good consolidation as well. We consolidate power. Bring in Frank Morano again with the news of the day.
Well, very interesting, John. We'll give folks an update on what's happening with the Roger Stone trial in just a moment. But an interesting public feud is going back and forth between one of the richest men in the world and a woman that would like to tax most of his wealth. I'm talking, of course, about Bill Gates and Elizabeth Warren. This is Bill Gates commenting on Elizabeth Warren's proposal for a national wealth tax. Take a look at this.
I'm not going to, make political declarations. But I do think no matter what policy somebody has in mind, a professional approach is even, as much as I disagree with some of the policy things that are out there, I do think a professional approach to the office, whoever I decide would have the more professional approach in the current situation probably is the thing that I'll weigh the most. And, I hope the more professional candidate is an electable candidate.
He wasn't jumping on the Elizabeth Warren bandwagon there.
See, as crazy as Donald Trump might be, you tell a billionaire that you're going to tax all of his wealth, all of a sudden Donald Trump's not looking crazy.
I don't want to jump to anywhere. I don't want to jump in. No good. I don't want to make any quick rash knee-jerk decisions.
Well, fortunately for Bill Gates...
I'm starting to like Bill Gates a lot more just from that. Two people that exposed themselves recently, two big, huge celebrities.
Now, we're not accusing them of any Me Too violations.
No, they exposed themselves as
like
kind of purple.
Yeah.
Kind of purple. You know what I'm saying? Ellen, she sat next to George Bush. She got slapped around for it. She came out and said, hey, I could be friends with someone just because I don't agree. And now this. It's amazing.
All right. So Elizabeth Warren tweeted earlier, actually last night, she offered to meet with Bill Gates. I'm sure that's come as a great relief to Bill Gates. She tweeted, I'm always happy to meet with people, even if we have different views. Bill Gates, if we get the chance, I'd love to explain exactly how much you'd pay under my wealth tax. I promise it's not $100 billion.
You know what we should do? We should get Jason Levy to dress up like Bill Gates, you know what I'm saying, and have someone dress up like Aaron Ross, like Elizabeth Warren, like Kate McKinnon, and do the mock interview. What would have happened? You know, we do like the like the dreamscape fade out.
Yeah. Now, so let me tell you, folks, what's happening with the Roger Stone trial. Now, Roger Stone, who has been a close confidant and friend of Donald Trump, is on trial in federal court in Washington for false statements and witness tampering. His defense is an interesting one. He made his defense team made their opening statement this morning. It basically is taking advantage of Roger's unsavory reputation, saying, don't believe me or anyone else. Roger is claiming that throughout 2016, to have an intermediary feeding him information on WikiLeaks' plan to release hacked emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC that might destroy her presidential run. Texts and emails from Stone show in court have him suggesting that he had two go-betweens. One was Jerome Corsi, and the other was Randy Credico, both of whom forewarned Stone of coming dirt on Clinton. But according to Roger's attorney, it's made-up stuff. People were playing Mr. Stone, and he took the bait. So the headline in the Washington Post is that Roger Stone was a player. He claims he was a player, but who got played. So the second day of testimony began this morning with jurors hearing the parameters of the House Intelligence Committee investigation in which Stone is accused of lying. Now, maybe 3 quick points of background. One,
maybe 4.
All right, 4.
Go with 4.
We heard for 2 years and a multi-million-dollar investigation all about Russian collusion, all about conspiracy, the Trump campaign conspiring with Russia. Roger is not charged at all with anything having to do with Russian collusion. It was also reported by no less an authority than the New York Times that Roger Stone was one of 3 Trump associates under surveillance by the Obama administration during the 2016 campaign. Also, why is Roger being tasked with lying to Congress? He testified voluntarily to the House Intelligence Committee, whose scope of the investigation was Russian interference in the 2016 election. They didn't subpoena him. He testified voluntarily, told what he knew about Russian interference. They didn't find that he had anything to do with Russian interference, and said, by the way, we're slapping you with lying to Congress.
Could I try to distill this down into,
Distill away.
John
Distill
Tobacco
away.
comprehension land? They're basically saying that he tried to get Jerome Corsi to tell Congress a false story.
Well, Randy Credico.
Randy Credico, and relayed somehow through Jerome Corsi, right? They alleged that he threatened Randy Credico that he was going to kill his dog. Remember that? And Roger said, I'm going to take that dog from you.
Yeah.
Right? Because Roger thought that the dog was malnourished and it was going to die. You know this, right?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, right. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
But if you understand the nature, but by the way,
it's ridiculous.
Remember the pre-dawn raid on Roger Stone's house in which 29 FBI agents in full SWAT gear arrested Stone while allowing CNN to film it? The judge in this case, Amy Berman Jackson, has prohibited Stone's defense from raising any questions regarding misconduct by the FBI, misconduct by the Department of Justice, or misconduct by the special counsel's office. This judge is a prosecutor in a robe. And, as we said yesterday, the linchpin of this case, the so-called witness tampering from Randy Credico. Randy Credico is a really, really mentally ill person. And I know he has very good lawyers. I know he's rumored to be sleeping with Bill Kunstler's ex-wife.
Alleged drug addict.
Well, no, he's an admitted drug addict.
Admitted drug addict.
So he's got very good lawyers. He can sue me for defamation if he wants.
Terrible comic. No,
but
I'm saying
what I was going to say is, yesterday I said that Randy
we love all people.
Has been. And Randy.
They're all God's people.
Yeah. Yesterday I said how Randy has been obsessed with Roger Stone for 12 years. Well, one of the things Randy's claiming is that he was so hurt and so damaged by Roger's claim that Randy made a fake call to Elliot Spitzer's father. Now, if you don't remember this, if you're outside of New York, Roger was accused of calling Elliot Spitzer's father. Roger said, no, it wasn't me, it was Randy Credico. Well, here's how Randy Credico reacted. This is 12 years ago. Randy actually tried to recreate the phone call as Roger Stone. This is Randy Credico impersonating Roger Stone after this call, which so supposedly damaged Randy Credico. Yeah, listen to this.
This is a message for Bernard Spitzer. You are about to get a subpoena from the Senate Ethics Committee. You will have to appear. If you refuse to appear, you will be arrested by the Senate Sergeant at Arms. Bernard Spitzer, your shady deals will now be known to everybody that your son is a worthless, psycho piece of shit.
That doesn't look to me like a guy that was damaged by Roger Stone making that claim. It looked like a guy that enjoyed every minute of it, and it looked like a guy who has a lengthy history of being obsessed with Roger Stone.
He was about to shoot a bad porno right there. That thing looked terrible.
And I stand by what he said.
Out of deliverance, this poor guy. All right, listen. You may have noticed, Frank and I are fans and mentees of Roger Stone.
Well, no. I am not a mentee.
Well, okay. Well, I think he's given mentor-like guidance to both of us in small doses in life.
I have a very different style of politics than Roger Stone. I'm a fan of I'm a fan of justice.
Yes. Okay. Is that fair? He's not a mentee. Okay. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't agree with everything Roger says, but in this case, we don't like to see people who engage in public discourse being put on trial just because they're friends with the president. It's not good for the country. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. Right after this, it's going to be good for you because Rob Taub and Joe Pignon are going to be here to mix it up on the news of the day. Quick break, back at you right after this.